Good morning and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. I'm David Steele and here's my truck, and I'm attempting to negotiate this intersection without being in the driver's seat. Let's see how well I do. I mean, I haven't crashed yet, but wow. That's okay, not bad. Let's make life easy for me. Alright, well, that was unusual. That looked like that bus had the sun shield fully down. And then again, let's look at this today. So it is a beautiful looking day already. We're in California, and we're off to collect some. Is it grain today? I'm pretty sure that it's grain. Hope everyone's doing well, and it's been a while since I've driven the Mack R. It's also been a while since I've listened to the Z-Mod's ENDT sound. But that's what we've got going on today, everyone. We're using the EM6 engine. This is the EM6R. The R stands for the restricted rev model. So it has a governor of just 1800 RPM. And produces, well, 300 horsepower. Now this is not the EM6L. That's the low-down torque model. That has a chunk more torque than we've got under the foot today. Today we're making do with just 1125 foot-pounds, but that's not a bad amount of torque. Not a bad amount at all. Certainly for its day. Right, I'm going to lift off completely here. I'm going to coast in. I have not explored that much of California, and it's beautiful. I've been here in real life, not to this exact location, but I've been to California here in real life. And it's interesting how the state has got a very polarizing, or people have a very polarizing opinion of California. There's a certain perception that that the rest of the world doesn't like California, which is, well, you messed that one up. You took out the verge, which I think is really unfair. It's a beautiful state. Some people say, "Oh, I don't like the politics." Right, well, that's just disappointing. And I know this is not a political channel by any means, and I have my own opinions, as do most people. Caveat. We'll come to the caveat in a bit, perhaps. But the point is, you don't. It's very narrow-minded to decide, oh, I don't like this place because of how they believe something, especially in America. The point of America is... Oh, mammoths. That's cool. Sorry, I might be getting distracted. And then they may be elephants, not mammoths, but the point of America is, the freedom to do whatever you want. And yeah, that said, it's okay to not like someone's politics or state's politics, but not everyone in that state will disagree with you. So I don't know. It's just a shame to decide not to visit or even drive somewhere in the game just because you don't like the politics of the real place. But this is beautiful, and I don't want to get embroiled in politics because, like I say, we all got our own opinions. And it's easy to say, well, everyone else's opinion is wrong but mine. The other people that voted the same way I did, but yeah, it's not worth it. Not for this channel anyway. This is a roundabout. I wonder how quick I can take this roundabout. So yeah, it's been a while since I've driven the Mack R. I gotta say, I missed it. Got no other words to describe it. I have missed this bad boy. And this particular truck, this was inspired by something I saw on truck paper. Now, we didn't have the full details on truck paper, so we don't know what the transmission is. And I couldn't read the VIN, see if that will give me a clue. I did see it had an EM6-300. And it was a manual at least. Which is not a surprise, but there are some Mack R600s that have an auto. I'm being a little bit clumsy here with my driving. I can do better than that, David. truck. Pete. Was it Kenworth? I should know, right? Okay, slightly better attempt at doing that, that intersection there. But only slightly. It's an interesting view there. Just show we've got the long wheelbase Mack R. Let's go ahead.
Turn left.
Over here. These brakes are very grabby. I wonder if that's a thing of the mod truck, or if it's just a... No, I don't think it's a setting I've got turned on, because I've noticed it with my other trucks, right? Surely. Well, either way, we didn't crash. So, I'm optimistic we'll get to do the dynamic loading here today. Now, we may not do, and it's okay if we don't. But I'd like it if we did, because I don't think I've put that on a video yet. And I know it's old news, the dynamic loading. It's where you can you put the truck under, I guess, the hopper or whatever's got the product that you're collecting, and you have to drive through and it loads it up for you. It's pretty nifty. Where's me? Oh no, I was too late. That's a shame. Oh, well, okay, so I got here too late for the trip I wanted to do, which was, I think, the Bakersfield. Reading it's over a day. I really want to do a Reading trip. Not for the video, anyway. I don't mind doing it otherwise. But I don't have a sleeper on the truck, so it's not really what I would necessarily want to do. We could take some soybean to Los Angeles or Fresno. Okay, the soybean to Fort Worth is a trip I would definitely like to do, but not today, not for the video. I think we're going to do the Los Angeles trip, and actually that's not a bad idea either, because LA does look fabulous. Now, the game doesn't simulate the LA fires, thank goodness, and my heart goes out to those people suffering. Let's go ahead and do that. Wish I could wholly circle back on myself. And explain that my opinion is you don't punish people for political views when they're having a disaster. Something that POTUS, I don't even want to use the guy's name, seems to think is acceptable. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens when a red state suffers from a disaster. Right, I'm optimistic that there's a hopper here. I'm optimistic that we'll get to use the hopper. Let's see. Oh yes, that looks likely. All right. So if I'm right, yeah, we don't know if it's the dynamic loading or not. I showed it this view, but you pull to the parking spot. I'll actually circle around here. I'll go past this this Project 2025 documentation here to my left. Swing around here and see if we can use the dynamic loading. Now I will need to use the little pop-up console box. That's this thing here. Let's bring that up, because it does give you instruction on there. At least it can show what it wants me to do. Yeah. Now, unlike other use-your-own-cargo ones, this one doesn't require you to shut the truck down completely and turn off the engine. See why? And I've already alluded to it. You get to drive through. No, I'm not going to skip. I'm going to see if it lets me do it. Well, we'll try. Okay. It's going to insist that I turn off the engine. It's going to load it that way. Oh, well, never mind. It was worth a try. Shut it down. Could turn this off. Yeah, so unfortunately it's not going to let me do it. But at least we'll get to watch how much this trailer sags with £46,000 worth in there. So let's get it loaded. Okay. Right, well, I think we're all set. Let's jump back in the cabin. Let's get the lights on. Lights on for safety. Well, actually, the lights on so I can see my various instruments. Let's see, how long have I got? So I've got 217 miles to go. It reckons it's 4 hours 46. I could possibly get there during the rest of my shift. So let's make like a tree and get out of here. Obviously, gently, and so as to not to be speeding everywhere. Now I'm experimenting with a couple of things in this truck. One is I'm using the you see the MaxiTorq optimized transmission. So normally I'd use a what's it, 309 transmission would be the one I would use, and that is the Mack MaxiTorq, the 9-speed. But this time I'm using the TM309. That is the one that's optimized for the MaxiTorq engine. What does all that mean? Well, it's got a different set of internal ratios. In fact, let's take a look. So it's got 2 crawler gears and what looks like a 7-speed. Except I'm actually in, so I'm in named as 2nd gear right now, and I think we have crawler 1, crawler 2. Let's just take a look if we slow right down. Oh, I've got 3 crawlers. So what I probably have then is a 6-speed. And 3 crawlers. Well, that would make sense. Right, so that means that my very low gear. It's going to move me off. It's going to move me off in 2nd gear. Let's switch to sequential. All right, that's my ultra low gear. I think some interesting say issues, but with my sequential transmission, it doesn't always want to seem to shift at time. I did deliberately skip a gear there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've got... Oh yeah, that's a bit of a wide gap between 1st and 2nd. Let's rev it out a little bit longer. Yeah, okay. It does look like it's got a wide set of ratios between 1st to 6th. Which would make sense because of how you would drive the MaxiTorq, and then 3 crawler gears for either vocational work or pulling a lot of soybean out of the mud. Let's deliberately choose crawler 2. Okay. Let's skip to put it in 1st. Yeah, it did okay with that, but. Yeah, I need going a little quicker in the interim gears. This would be quite a challenging truck to drive then, because you've got a governor of 1800 RPM and a pretty wide gap between each of the gears. And it does pull okay from 1,000 revs, don't get me wrong. But I would need to practice before I try and make a video, unless everyone likes to watch me fail epically. Oh yeah, it didn't like that. Oops. Okay, so you gotta go through the gears one by one, unless you're pretty much stationary. Right, enough of that. Let's put it back into automated, I think. Excuse me, I don't need to be making life difficult for myself. None of that practice. Right. Plus, I also have a time to make. So let's see if we can do this in today's trip. What have we got? Okay, well I've lost a bunch of time already. Yay. So yeah, it's the MaxiTorq optimized transmission, and that means it's essentially made for the driver to more or less rev it out to the governor between gear changes, and then you have what most of the time is a 6-speed. I think there's an 8-speed MaxiTorq optimized, and that may well be a 5-speed and 3 crawlers, or it could be 2 crawlers and a 6-speed. I don't know. Either way, yeah, it does feel a little different compared with the more conventional 9-speed. That you can skip gears fairly easily, and you have a few more revs on between the ratios. In other words, you go from maybe 1600 to 1200 RPM. Oh yeah, a little excessive speed around here, David.
Exit right.
It's a bit of a thug life way of approaching that roundabout. On the power. So it goes from sort of 60, 50 to 1,000, and it's okay doing that. But see, like now, yeah, I would like them to be a little closer stacked. This said, it's still pulling that hill, and so really that's just a preference thing. And let's not forget, I've got quite a chunky cargo on the back for a fairly low-powered engine. And I dare say, I don't know what my gross vehicle weight is, but it's going to be close to 80,000 pounds. You wouldn't fit a truck semi with a 300 horsepower engine these days. What are we doing? This is 5th gear, so we've got 1 gear left, I believe. Yeah, there we go. Right, let's get my cruise on to 55, and okay, I mean, not bad. I reckon I'm going to be doing about 1450 revs at 55 in top gear, which this engine's completely happy with, and that's perfect for California. I did gear it to be 65 mile an hour capable, so it's got a 4.5 final drive. Let's get off the power completely because we're turning left up here, heading east. A little bit of engine brake. Service brake now. A little bit more service brake. Alright. You're going to manage that deceleration much better, David. Alright, let's give it a full power launch. There's a car coming. We probably shouldn't have gone. He or she may be turning off. We'll find out. Can you see him? Oh, yeah. Oopsie. Let's lift off and help him past. Okay, well, I mean, he didn't shoot me, which is good. That's one up on Texas, right? I live in Texas, and that's a joke. If you don't live in Texas and you do think that people shoot you if you get in their way, sometimes it feels like they might. But it also feels like people anyway in the grocery store or supermarket, as I want to call it. The truck I found on truck paper was same color, was white. It also didn't have the hood mirrors, which I kind of miss in the Mack R. There's quite a big way to crane your neck left and right to see those mirrors, but okay. It didn't have any aerodynamic appendages on the top, but it did have those 2 little scoops, which I dare say for California would be nice, but you probably really want AC. Right, for most of America, you probably want AC. It was interesting. We got a little bit of shift lock happening there, I think. We locked a wheel, and the automatic transmission said, nope. Not doing that. I'm gonna try manual. I mean, what's the hardest? What's the worst that happens, right? Don't put it in gear, that's the worst that happens. There we go. Wow, that first gear is incredibly low, and then there's like a gap the size of the Kansas in the middle. So nowhere near as big as Texas, right? Okay. I'll get the hang of this. I mean, how hard can driving stick the whole way be? Answers on the postcard, please. 1700, and shift up. There we go. Yeah, so 1700 to 1100 is probably about the best that we can hope for. So I do need to use all of those, or most of those revs. Alright, lanes merged down to 1. I think we're nowhere even near 55, so we're going to be good here. We're still on the way up to 40. Oh, it's 35. Look at that. Thanks, chaps. You do a sterling effort there. Right, back on the power. So a little bit of hitching from the game here and there. And I'd rolled down my settings quite a bit. And it's helped a lot. But it doesn't look as pretty. Yeah, it's okay. It's just as much fun. Oh, yeah, that was pretty much a governor shift. And you don't know if you heard it, but you can sort of hear the whistle from the turbo start to spool down as it loses its boost as it reaches the governor. This view is more obvious, the sound you get from it. But it will not be reaching the governor in time here, I don't think. We'll get to Los Angeles at 3 o'clock. You know, I think I want to get to LA when it's dark. I'm going to put the transmission back to automated. I should have pulled into this rest stop here. Oh, you still can, maybe. Maybe not. That's a shame. Yeah, I'd like to get to LA in the dark, I think, because it's going to look very pretty. Then again, it's not going to look bad at 3 o'clock. It's just the heat of the day and all that. And I imagine this Mack is very uncomfortable on a hot day if it doesn't have AC. And I don't think it will have AC. It's based on a 1978 machine, I believe this one. It was in 86. Either way, it's a 40 to 50 year old truck. So yes, AC was absolutely available, and yes, I'm sure if this was used as a farm truck, it wouldn't have it because why should you need AC? You just open the window, you're fine, lad. Yeah. Yep, so it's about 1500 revs, and it's 55, so looks like I was about right. And the truck should be as comfortable a place as it's ever going to be in the rev range, cruising like this. Now, I don't know if you heard that, but I have a boy cat wailing and lamenting his life is ruined because I'm in the room and he's out of the room. And you want to ask him why he's out of the room? Because when he's in the room and I'm trying to record a video, he is everywhere he's not supposed to be, because he thinks I'm talking but not to him, and he wants to be the center of attention. Of course, he's outside the room, he's meowing. Oh well, first world problems, right? I also know this, if cats could vote, they would change their mind every single day, and they would reinforce the fact that as a human we're their elected officials, so we should shut the front door and do whatever they say every time they say it. Yeah, it's not so bad being a cat. Not so bad being a cat parent either. So hats off to the mod developer for the Mack R for keeping this thing up to date over the years. This was the very first mod truck I ever used, and originally I'm like, well, I don't like this. It's got no power. It's weird. It's small. It's just ill. And then I've really learned to appreciate it. Yes, the small size is sometimes incredibly useful. Let's pull my speed back to 50. This is the long wheelbase version, as the version was I saw on truck paper. And it makes it a lot more stable on the highway, and at the expense of a lot less maneuverability. Let's see if I can show the sort of length of it. Yeah, the short one, way closer to the back there. It's a lot smaller. Still got the smaller fuel tanks. Didn't bother with the fuel tank upgrade because the original didn't have them either. Beautiful looking truck. Switch back to the internal view. So we're hunkering up this hill at sort of 1375 RPM maybe. Still right where this engine's very happy operating. Its peak torque is suitably low. I think it's rated at 11 or 1200 RPM, and I should know because I spent a lot of time poring over the Mack stats, thinking, are these real? Because this is an old engine producing a very modern torque curve. Okay, why are you braking, little white man? It's when the AI does things you see in real life. Oh wait, should I turn off here? No, I should keep going. I'm wondering if I turned off I can get to a service point sooner. And there is some unexplored roads that way, but no, I guess not. Let's see if we can hear the turbo coming on and off. I left the Jake on or the engine brake, so that's engine idling or coasting. There's the turbo whistling as it spools up, and as we take it off the power, gives a little sneeze. Yeah, I gotta take this exit, and also check there's nothing coming up my inside. Yeah. Off the power completely. There we go. See if I can do a better job of matching the braking here. Because I didn't last time, I kind of messed it up. The subtlety there is as I start to squeeze in a little more power to try and keep the speed going up the hill, you hear the turbo kind of start to spool up. And I'm not giving it a boofle, I'm just squeezing on a little bit extra power. Yeah, I think we can go. And you hear it kind of spool in. I love some of the detail that Z has put into his engines. In fact, not some of his engines, all of his engines. Sometimes it's a lot more obvious if you are running in a higher gear because the turbo's got longer, takes longer, has longer and takes longer to spool up.
Turn right.
It's not to discount it, the lower gears. Yeah, so it barely gets going in the lower gears, and it's got so many gears to go through. You don't really hear the turbo. Oh, plus you don't hear it from behind either. Okay, fair enough. Right, we're gonna turn left here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the recording. I'll take a night stop, and I'll be back in the morning. We're on the road. So I'll see you in just a jiffy. Thanks, Doug.
Please make a U-turn when possible.
Welcome back. It is just coming up to 1 o'clock in the morning. We're heading back to the Mack. We took a break. We found a nice motel. We could pay by the hour. Seemed like a nice place. And let's get off the side of the side. Let's get off the tarmac. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and start it remotely. Okay, I'm not gonna start it remotely. Just imagine I've run around the corner and set the camera up like a good old-fashioned YouTuber. Let's get it going, and then we'll turn on the secondary lights. So yeah, I'm a really big fan of this truck. I love how it holds together. I love a lot of things about it, and even the point that Now, you look at online forums and documentation from Mack, look, mostly ever specify you under the hood is 400 horsepower. Oh, that nav is very bright. That's going to ruin the experience a little bit, but hey, it's fine. So last night, as well as managing to park it properly, I also bought some motion lotion. So we got a full tank of fuel, which we possibly will need. I'm going to hand wave and suppose that let the engine idle further long enough to warm everything up, and let's get out of here. And my first challenge is, how do I get out of here? Well, I'm not supposed to turn right here, so I may as well follow the road round. I can see that the tire marks on people are gone, but I think I can get around this way, right? Surely. Maybe. No, you see that's for incoming fuel for rigs coming into the yard. All right, let's just explore the parking lot for a time. Maybe I could even wait the rig, but we're not going to do that. And here's the exit. Okay. I think 20 miles an hour is probably more than fast enough for this place. Yeah, this doesn't seem any better than just turning right and cutting through the fuel island, but okay. Quick double check of the time once I get up to the top. This is probably a stop. Oh, it might not be. Well, it is now. Okay, let's see what time is it. So it is 1:30. I can't believe it took me 30 minutes to negotiate. Yes, I can believe that. It reckons we're going to arrive at, it says 2:43, but it hasn't been closer to 3 o'clock. Because me. Alright, well that was a good night stop. Good chance to get some fuel. Some pretty big traffic, some pretty big truck stop even. One of the criticisms I see a lot of truckers give California is the fact that there's not many truck stops. There aren't many truck stops, and you get to one and it's full, and you get fined if you park somewhere you're not supposed to. And whilst I get that that is a major inconvenience, I think the issue is that there's too much being transported, or too many vehicles being transported. I read an interesting article that was talking about how some fleets are prioritizing miles per gallon numbers as opposed to a more balanced metric of efficiency when hauling freight. So, let me cut out all the jargon. Basically, they're sending rigs out with a part load because the miles per gallon figure will look fantastic. But of course, they might be putting 3 trucks on the road where they could maybe only use 1 or possibly 2. So you've got more trucks on the road, and yes, you do have more employment doing that, but it's difficult to see how that is a sustainable long-term practice, and individual mile per gallon number might be lower, but your overall fuel cost of transportation is going to be higher, quite a bit higher, because you'll be employing more drivers, and you'll be burning more diesel spread out over more runs. In fact, interesting point of fact, this whole discussion point is why the Swedes are allowing great big road trains on certain highways, and why Volvo worked on the D17 engine, because that beast, that 780 horsepower engine is designed to haul those great big road trains that maybe weigh 150, 180,000 pounds. But the logic there is you use one very powerful big engine that, yes, its volumetric efficiency hauling a road train is, I don't know, maybe 4 miles per gallon. But that's still better, or less fuel per pound per mile of cargo transported than 2 or 3 big rigs that maybe get 7 or 8 miles per gallon, or maybe 11 11 or 12. Even if they use the same amount of fuel, you're burning time for one driver and not lots of drivers. And yes, I hear the counter argument that you're removing employment for truckers, and that is very sad. And the sad reality is, it seems that all jobs are under threat all of the time. There's a better way of doing something. That would be capitalism. Can you make a robot drive a truck? If you can, then your truck drivers are going to be out of a job, or out of that job. Now, if you're using a drone, or you have to train the AI models, then some truck drivers will have a job. But they're almost becoming engineers at that point. I may wish to just back off the power a little bit here. This kind of looks like a bit of a tight left turn. Bit of engine brake. This gives me a recommended speed of 40. So the truck slower itself down. You didn't really need to downshift there. I'm going to get back on the power now because this is it's the first downshift. It's kind of steep gradient. That's also how you can manage traffic flow. You make roads unsafe at a certain speed, so traffic either crashes or slows down. I could have crashed there, but I'm glad I didn't. So 40 is on the cusp of what the automated option will tolerate in top gear. And it's now it's going up a hill like a Mack does. You know, it's at low revs. It's not wanting to accelerate, but it's not losing much, if any, speed. And look at that, we did that in top gear. I enjoy that. That's a nice feature. Left. Actually, we've got to come off the power completely because we're going to turn off again. Oops. Completely almost missed my exit there. I was confused when it told me to merge left.
Turn left.
So I did see and experience some whip soaring of the gears at lower speeds earlier. And what that means is, when you whipsaw, you reach a certain speed, the gearbox says, yep, we want to change up. You change up, but the speed's dropped enough such that it immediately wants to change down again. And it's a phenomena that when you drive an automated truck in ATS and ETS, you want a very light throttle, you can experience this anyway, even with the most finest of setup ratios and shift points. Some vehicles are way worse, and some engines are way worse than others. See if I'll do it pulling off here. This is flat ground. I'm off the brake, which is nice. So should just check that. Yep, brake on, brake off. Okay. So I'm off the brake now, and if I gently move off, especially when you've got crawler gears, it's gonna shift around a little bit. So we're moving off in crawler 2. I see now it's fine now. Huh. Okay, well, fair enough. I also have experienced the fact that the game takes a period of time to adapt or adjust to whatever gearbox, engine, cargo combination that you've got. Just like a real thing might. And so that what can happen there is you go from a laden wagon to an unladen wagon, and it might want you to might hold onto the gears a little longer than it needs to at first. Or you go the other way.
Keep left. And then turn left.
Green light here. I don't think I'm going to make it though. I'm not going to thrash it because it's going to turn orange on me. Yeah, there we go. Or yellow even. So yeah, it's just like a real-world automatic box will, or modern ones at least, will adapt to the driver. And just as we as drivers will also adapt. So you might find that when you jump into a new car or truck, you'll have an idea for when you change gear. Excuse me, but as you drive it around, you'll realise what you can and can't get away with. As you become more and more familiar, so it becomes more and more second nature. Same with the automated box in ATS. Okay. This is the longest traffic light in the world ever. Still, a chance to look at the Mack. One with the belt option here on the trailer. This flappy thing that hangs down. I guess it's a conveyor belt, and I'm supposing that it allows you to empty the whole trailer from just without moving the whole truck. I suppose. Now I could look into this, and I think I will because I'm interested as to what it does. It was kind of expensive, but I decided to put in some good old-fashioned logic. If it's more expensive, it's clearly better, innit? Yeah, I don't know whether it was or not, but it was fun to just try. Well, we haven't seen that much of Los Angeles, unfortunately, and I probably should have realised that because they have made it kind of enormous. And Los Angeles as a city really is just enormous. I seem to recall it's about as big as Scotland, but a lot more densely populated. Coasting up here, we're gonna
Then turn left.
I need to use the engine brake, yeah, and at least we've timed the lights a little bit better here today.
Turn left.
What I mean by that is that we didn't arrive here right as it went to yellow. A few seconds later. Let's see. Yeah, they've still got a green light. You can see the green light on the pavement, the sidewalk. Okay, now may gotta go now, maybe. Nope. Oh yeah, we do. Okay, all right. Turn in here, moderate the power, take it a little wider. Check that we're going to clear it. So, yep, looks like we've cleared it. Choice of 4 lanes, but I'm going to be lazy and just guide myself to lane 3 or lane 4, I suppose. Lane 3 available, lane 4 of the total. Only tails bob. I know what it means, but in British we read it. Wait, no. Actually, thinking about it. Yeah. Okay. Usually in America, the first words is the word. Oh, never mind. I'm just confused. I've been here for so long, I forget what is considered British, in air quotes, and what is considered American, in air quotes. This is where we go through the security check. I guess we'll put this up. We'll get my window down. Alright, Gov. Yeah, there's not really much to say here. Let it do its thing. Okay. It's whatever the heck this thing is. Oh, we didn't need it. That's fine. There's a phone there as well, so I guess if you get stuck, you can call for help. Interesting as to why there's a lane over here. Oh, lane help. Okay. I'd love to stick my head out and say, "Oi, excuse me, mate. Tell me where Heathrow is, isn't it?" But I don't think they'll know what Heathrow is. You not know it's one of the largest airports in the world, one of the busiest airports in the world. So we'll not go there. Right, I'm almost at my destination. Sometimes these haulage yards, or whatever they might be called in American, they're a pain. You can navigate your way around, you can just tell where you're going. And it's not that I get lost all the time. It is, I get lost all the time. Okay, and I may break tradition and do the difficult parking today. See how I feel. See how hard it's going to be. It says 40, so how hard can that be, right? Somewhere back here. Alright, well I'm going to cheat anyway and use the external view because we don't have all day here. Okay. So a few versions ago, SCS introduced the traffic in freight yards, similar, and that adds a lot to it. You can't just not look what's happening around you when you pull in to drop your trailer off. Good grief, that seems an awfully snug space for a whole trailer. Well, we'll see. It doesn't help that I've got this sort of spread rear either. Spread rear axles. Let's give this a go. So I'm gonna get my angle of the trailer as angled as much as I can, so it makes life a little easier. Okay. And I think, in theory, I should be able to just slot this in nicely, but that's actually a harder spot than I hoped. A little bit more left hand down. It's probably enough. A bit more right hand down so I balance things out a little bit. Just a smidge. I think that I may be a little close to that trailer. I think there's still clearance there, but only just. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm going to go ahead and pull forward a little bit. Full left hand down, pull forward like so. Try and straighten things up. Straighten things up, yeah. And to this point I get it wrong, so am I just not repeating what I've just done? Don't have a lot of space to work with here. Looks like we're clearing out. That's good. So right hand down, not too much though. Right hand down now. We're going to have to do a bit of a shuffle forwards and backwards. That's okay. It always sounds like it's close to stalling, and that's the Z-mods thing. That's what this engine does. So I'm guessing it's accurate. Oh no, I actually need to be a little bit more left hand down. Try and angle the back of the trailer with the back of the spot. Okay. A little bit of right hand down. Okay, a little bit more now. All the right hand down we can give it. Straighten it up, and I think left it a little late, but okay. It's not unrecoverable. May have just about hit the spot. It says that that's good enough, but I want to be a little straighter. Oh, that was hitting the back. Okay. I mean, yeah. You know what? I'm going to call it. So off camera, I will go back and I will fix that, because professional. Well, I'm not going to, but I would want to. Let's see how well we did. Before we do, I'm going to plumb and say we're going to get maybe 6.5 to the gallon from this trip, maybe 6. The EM6 is a nice efficient package. The gearing is a little short, but it's not horrendously short. So let's see, 240 miles give or take, and 43 gallons. That's a lot less than I hoped. That's closer to 5. A little bit more, 5.5 I think. Okay, well, it's not terrible. I guess it just goes to show the gearing does make a difference here. And I think if we'd swapped out the engine for the EM6R and given it much taller gearing, we'd have gotten another mile per gallon. But that's maybe another video. Hope you got something from this. Hope you liked it. Thanks so much, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.